all right, here we go. We are trying to, for the second time, do the Quarry, where I get the ending where everybody has died. If you were not here the first time around, I accidentally somehow managed to let Abby survive. There's like only one real way to kill her, and that's if you let the Australian guy, I forget what his name is, kill her. So you have to not shoot him in the bathroom, which I did because I thought that would get him to turn into a werewolf. Unfortunately, if you kill Emma early on, which I still plan on doing, you cannot kill Abby later on either. Because Emma's the one who kills her later on. Where is everybody? I'm pretty sure I've already killed Jacob. Jacob should be dead at this point. Yes. I let Jacob drown in the lake. Which in order to do, you need to have him take the little, what is that? The little arm thing off of the car? The rotator arm? So, I'm pretty sure next up to die is Emma. And then I'll be able to kill Abby.
Buddy. Can you tell me what those guys did to you?
And who are the other guys? Who are the other people here? Who else is here? Emma will die on the island over here. Abby will die in the bathroom. Nick, that's his name. Nick, I can let him get shot in that little cave thing, not the cell. And then Caitlin, Dylan, and Ryan, I'm pretty sure I cannot kill until later. So, we're just gonna have to make sure that they actually all die this time.
He's super out of it. Yeah.
The hunter.
Yeah. There was a guy. There was something else. Some kind of animal.
What kind of animal?
No, I only saw a dude trying to take him away. He's probably just disoriented, that's all. The dude was massive and angry.
Is Abby?
Yeah, she's okay, dude. She's right over there.
Because...
And then I also have to let Laura and Max die too. Max is the easy one. I think it was a bear. They're so obsessed with the bears.
Oh, fuck.
Look at that. Oh, shit.
That black stuff? That's infection. It's spreading. This is bad. This is really bad, dude.
No, we're not going to apply pressure. Let's let him die. Let's let him bleed out.
Ryan. We should amputate. We should cut it off before the infection starts.
Yes, let's cut off his leg. We have no way... we have no way of cauterizing his wound, but we're going to cut it off and let him bleed out.
He just needs a doctor. Proper medical attention.
And a shrink, too, probably.
Yeah, and a shrink, too, probably.
I can't remember much. I mean, I don't even know what I saw. Holy shit.
We'll call out.
Hey! Got a gun! And I know how to use it! Sort of.
Ryan, what if it's Jacob or Emma?
What if it's not?
Be careful.
Uh-oh. Let's just shoot. Just shoot randomly into the...
Oh. You were aiming for a cluster of threatening branches. You sure
yes, I was. Let's be apologetic.
Shit.
Yeah,
Sorry.
Jacob's dead already.
Just kind of lost it.
Jacob's already dead. I was just shooting into the
Maybe try
bushes
not
just
to
to,
Emma next
to
time you
shoot
get
into the
freaked out.
bushes. I'm actually not even... I'm only
Right.
like half paying attention right now. Because I'm
So
trying
what,
to
were you
read up on
thinking it
how
was
to
just
kill
a
the other
whim or
characters
something?
to make
Just
sure they all
still a little
die.
freaked out, you know?
I want to make sure I
Yeah,
don't
the
have
whim.
to...
Let's go with that.
Great.
I want to make sure
Go
I
with-
don't have to do anything
Alright.
earlier on in the chapters
Lodge is
to
sounding
make
pretty good
sure
right now, yeah?
that these guys die. And it looks like I don't have to do
Fuck
anything
those
earlier
guys.
on. It's
Pretty
just
sure they're off having
specific to
time
the
of their life.
chapters.
Right now we gotta make sure Nick and Abby are okay.
Nick's legs all sorts of fucked up. I don't know how we're gonna get him all the way back.
I got it.
Okay, so like in order to kill Laura,
All right,
I have to make Travis hostile against me, so I have to shoot him in chapter 7. What is this? Following the previous death. Okay, there's apparently some things I need to do in chapter 9. Or 7. I have to make Travis shoot Ryan.
Okay, let's see what
Killing everyone sees... it really does! Like, I managed to save pretty much everyone. The only reason why
here's a riddle
Nick
for you.
died was because I didn't realize that was him in the cage, and then Max I made a stupid mistake because I didn't really understand what was happening in the moment.
This fool. Well, one thumb, one
Alright,
available
well,
thumb,
I'm still a little ways away from chapter 7.
and it was here.
And chapter 7
on a
seems to be when I need to
strange,
actually
uninhabited island that this brave
pay
young
attention
soul
and do
found
things.
herself.
I think we're in chapter 4 right now, so we'll probably make it up to chapter 6.
Okay, full disclosure.
So
I
by that
suddenly found
point, I
myself
should
on
have
a-
Emma and
A
Abby dead.
strange, tiny little island, all alone with nothing to do but show you guys around. So there's a treehouse over there. I'm gonna go and see if I can't dish out some of that sweet, sweet panoramic goodness.
Oh yeah, some sweet, sweet panoramic goodness.
Because here's the thing.
In my underwear,
wanna
because
go
that's
back, here we
exactly
go.
what we should
But
do
even
in
if I
any
did,
sort of situation,
can't,
regardless of
because
whether
then
it's
I felt
horror or
like the
not.
super needy one when he was the one who stormed off in the first place. God, you know what? Sorry, I'm
Since
venting.
we've all heard her babble
Let's go
about
with that
Jacob and
fuck it.
her whatever
do it.
nonsense,
To the treehouse.
if
Let's
anybody's
explore it.
interested in some good horror stuff to watch, how goes the horror movie paper you're writing? So that's actually going pretty well. I've got about 40 pages written, which is
This
about
island is like an
30
unexcavated part of the quarry that rewilded itself
30
after
something
flooded
thousand
into the lake.
words. I really haven't
Pretty
done
cool,
anything
huh?
this week about
You know,
with
when
it.
I was little, I used to think that
Which I
islands
should be
just
working
kind of
on
would
that right
float
now
in
instead of
the
playing this
water,
game, but I've
kind
been
of like an
packing
airbag.
all day and I just want to do
But
something that doesn't
I'm
involve
older and
a thought
wiser now,
process.
Realize that not
But it's
everything's always
going
as
pretty
it
good.
seems.
I've gotten through
Kind of like how you
most
thought
of
you were
my
just having a
source
hot summer
material.
fling,
There's a
and then it
couple of
turns into
books
babysitting
that
a
I'm
big
gonna have
hairy
to
man-child who's
maybe
all
not
sad,
reread,
who's gonna
but
go steady
skim
with him and write
read,
him love letters every second day.
to
And while we're
see
talking about
what
it,
kind of
you
information
don't
in
mind
there
that
I
we're
might
talking
want to
about it, right?
incorporate, and then at that
Why-
point it's just
why
a
is it
matter
up to me
of
to justify my
organizing
feelings
all
when
of
he's
my
the one who got all
information
bluff
and
about it,
figuring
you
out
know?
what I want to keep and what I want to maybe expand on. It's
Oh,
gotten pretty interesting. I also have to
Metaphor in the
include the survey that I did. I gotta figure out all that
Here's the big
information and put
question.
that in.
Do I
One of the only things I
the
want
high
to try
road,
and do
literally,
is
and
I
forget
got
about it?
48
Or
responses
do I
and I
continue
really
on the
wanted
path
50,
I'm
and I know
on and
like the difference between
keep ranting
2
about my
48 to
stupid
50, it's
pen
not that
life?
big of a deal.
Guess since this
But
is
someone
meant to lie,
suggested that I
the choice is
post
up to me.
the survey onto a Reddit server, one of the horror movie Reddit servers. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to post it on the Reddit server
Okay,
and
moving up in the
see
world.
if maybe I can
Let's do
get
this.
at least 2 more
Now, you might notice the
responses.
darling
Maybe
rustling
I'll get
vibes
more,
this
which
walkway's
would be really
radiating,
exciting.
and that's no accident.
But that's
I don't know what
I'm
y'all
gonna
are
try
doing
and
with
get
the
it a little
walkways,
more
but if you're not
exposure.
spending a full hour pulling a splinter out of a snotty kid's
I
finger,
also
don't you
have
dare
come up
call
with a
it
couple of
offensive.
other questions,
Don't worry, the kid
and
is
I don't
fine.
know if I
I'm a
want
good
to
counselor.
put out another
And
survey like
what
that,
doesn't kill
or
you
like
will
keep
make
my
you
48
stronger.
responses to this survey, and then build another survey with the other questions that I've kind of come up with, and then post that onto the Reddit server and see where that gets me. I know there were a couple of people when I reposted this survey on Instagram, they were like, oh, is this another survey? Is it a different one? I was like, no, unfortunately, it's still just the same survey. So a couple of you guys really just want to fill surveys out for me, which I really appreciate. So maybe I'll repost it in both places. We'll see. Taking time to mentally unpack right now. Good choice. Yeah. I need to mentally unpack and just mentally chill out. I was actually gonna have a drink while I did it. So when I was in Tennessee a couple weeks ago, one of the things I like to do down there is go to the Old Smoky Moonshine place and just pick up some moonshine. Kyle got this ridiculous rubbing alcohol moonshine that's like 128 proof. It literally smells like rubbing alcohol. So I don't drink that trash. But they had a new cider place down there that wasn't there when I had last been in Tennessee. And
I hope Abby's okay.
it's called Tennessee Stud Cider, and it's part of, it's like a small brand underneath like a larger umbrella that does like moonshine and beers and stuff, and it was actually really good. So I was thinking about maybe drinking that while I was playing. So maybe while she's babbling, I'll just go get that out of the fridge. So if she stops talking before I get back, I'm sorry guys, I'm just running to the refrigerator
I bet they're out there in the woods right
to
now.
get this. The only unfortunate thing is, I had put it in the freezer while we were in Tennessee because I was like, oh, like, we'll chill it really fast and it'll be really good. And also, the moonshines that I've put in the freezer have never frozen before because they have a really high alcohol content. This stuff is only... Where's the alcohol content? It's only 6.9% alcohol by volume. Which is basically like putting, I guess, your Budweiser into the freezer. So, because Budweiser I think is only like 4.5%. Something like that. But yeah, so this went into the freezer, it froze, and then when I opened it, it exploded.
And here we are.
So all the bubbliness and the carbonation is out of it, which oddly enough makes it taste different. Of all the folks I've met who make their own booze, moonshiners are the most interesting. I'm gonna comment on that in a second. But yeah, it's lost all of its bubbliness, so it tastes different, which is weird. You wouldn't think carbonation would make something taste different, but it really does. And yeah, meeting people who make legitimate moonshine, like in their backyard or, like out of their house or whatever, they must be like really interesting because,
oh look, it seems
just,
somebody,
ooh,
it seems
that
somebody
popped open
forgot to clear
real
the
good.
place out. I guess one of the kids left their stuff, or maybe
So,
one of the guys back there. But
I've met, there's a couple people or people who I used to see.
Did you hear that?
In my area who brew their own beer. They were not that interesting. They were kind of snooty about their beer.
And die a horrible, painful death. There are literally no.
And it's kind of like, dude, you're making beer. We opened the trap door. You're making beer. You're not reinventing the wheel. Okay, so it has hints of banana and coconut and whatever in it.
The final curtain is calling, and there's no
I don't
time
understand fruity beer. Like, if you want something fruity or sweet, have a cider. You know, this coming from the person who drinks flavored moonshine. Because I don't like the plain stuff. I'm not sure if the blue thing that the blue flame moonshine, the 128 proof stuff, has a flavor. Let me ask Kyle real quick. Kyle, it has a flavor? So why would you drink it if it tastes like rubbing alcohol? It tastes delicious. Oh my god. It's like what an alcoholic says. Okay, so there's the answer for anybody who's interested. The 128 proof alcohol tastes like rubbing alcohol. What is going on with this game right now? Okay, there we go. It's picked itself up. I'm not sure why it got confused there.
I got it. He's okay.
Is he
You
though?
in pain?
Probably.
No, sorry, I'm just...
I mean, he was
really
just
hungry.
mauled by an
I'll get you some
animal.
food inside, okay?
I'm pretty sure that's rather painful.
Oh, man. I can eat a horse.
I could eat a
We'll
horse.
be able to find you a horse.
That's gonna be
but
all of us
some
come
granola?
Thanksgiving, right? For those of us who celebrate, and I guess those of us who don't, I know. What is this? Oh, pick this up. I know some of us don't like. Oh, I can't pick it up now. Some of us don't like to celebrate Thanksgiving for whatever reasons, which I think are silly. But
This will open the
You know,
nurse's station. Should be plenty
I
of
kind
stuff
of just
in there.
interpret Thanksgiving
hopefully
as
we can
being a
just
time
stand up for
to
now.
get together with family and be thankful
you
for
something to eat.
everybody who's around you and the good things that have happened in your life, even if it just means that you have a home, a roof over your head,
You
or
and I are gonna find
a family
landlord.
member that you can rely on, anything like that. Rubbing alcohol is cheap at least.
Oh,
Yeah, rubbing alcohol is
We'll come
cheap
meet you.
and it's multi-purpose. You
Copy
can
that.
use it to disinfect stuff. Let's be optimistic, just for the hell of it.
I really hope they're gonna.
Look
be
at the
okay. Do you
bears in
think
the
that
back
whatever's
there.
Left in the nurse's
What,
office
Kyle?
Is gonna cut it.
Caitlin knows what she's doing.
Yeah, I know.
Does she? I mean,
Kyle's
she wasn't
chiming
even
in
supposed to
saying
be working at the
128
nurse's
proof
office
will
this
mess
summer.
you
She
up,
only
and I'm
filled
like,
in
yeah, I know.
because some other
128
girl
proof
didn't show
alcohol
up.
is 65%
nothing.
alcohol.
Come on, let's go call for backup.
So, when you read something that says the proof on
Pretty
it,
weird to see this place so
that's
dead.
not how much
You never
alcohol is
came
in
down
it,
here at night
which
while
is what a
Sam was
lot
in
of people
session?
think when they first start drinking. They're like, oh, look at this 50 proof alcohol. It's
Couple
50%
times.
alcohol. Like, no. For some reason, whoever decided to, organize alcohol
going?
strengths or whatever, decided that they were going to make a
I
proof,
thought I just heard my
and
name.
then
I didn't hear anything.
whatever the proof was, half of that number is what your actual alcohol content is. So, if you this thing, I think I said was
these injuries are as bad as we thought.
6.9% alcohol by volume. So say 7. So it's 14 proof alcohol. So when you read the
good
128
news.
proof alcohol is
Yeah.
like, I guess you can,
So what now?
65 does not make 128. That makes it 130. So I guess it's like
gotta call for help.
63% and like
Who should I call?
change.
Mr.
Alcohol.
H?
Does
The only number
half
I
the
got is
bottle
this
evaporate when you open the bottle?
Okay, then
I don't know.
911.
You mean 9?
And it was also pretty expensive, so I don't know if we really want to play that game and see
Anyway,
if
yeah,
it
but, like, what
evaporates.
should I ask for? Like, police, ambulance.
But it might.
Well, do you need to specifically
Maybe when we
ask
get
for
towards
an
like
ambulance,
or
can
maybe
you
when he
just
gets towards
say,
the end of it,
help,
we'll sit it
they'll
out and
say
we'll like
911,
bark
what's
the
your
jar with a
emergency? And I'll
Sharpie
say,
and leave it
help,
out for a
help,
couple
my
hours and
friend
see if
may have been
it
attacked by a bear,
evaporates.
or maybe not a bear, but definitely an animal with teeth. And we're not sure how many there are out there right now.
We
and-
did
or
talk
how
about
smart
that,
they
and I
are,
forget
so
why.
They may be mounting an attack on us right now, so just like send a whole bunch of
Like
ambulances.
alcohol
just to be sure.
evaporating and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay.
One of my friends just texted me. I guess he's on the stream, and he goes, "He's not an alcoholic."
What's wrong?
Well,
Dead.
I don't know. I think if you're drinking 128 proof alcohol, you are at least mildly alcoholic.
Well, did you hang up?
I'm kidding, obviously.
How could I have hung up?
It's
I don't
just
know.
you know.
Maybe you slipped and hung up or something.
Do you know
slipped
how
and hung
phones
up.
work?
Yeah, of course.
This dialogue
Real
is
phones,
terrible.
not cell phones.
Do you know how phones work?
Oh, apparently, why? I don't understand why you're not posted in the chat, but
okay.
he
well,
has
you-
taste.
I did
I
not-
don't know if you like that 128 proof alcohol,
So this phone's a no-go.
friend, but
No one has signal. Is there anywhere
that
else
stuff
in the
is.
camp that
Oh,
has a
my
lamp?
chat doesn't work, so I can't send messages. I'm sorry.
Well, not a landline.
What?
The radio hut has some
He
old
has
broadcast
taste.
gear
But it tastes
Where-
like
where
rubbing
do you do your
alcohol,
announcements?
apparently.
where I curate my sweet summer jams.
I
yeah,
smell
and
rubbing
where I do the
alcohol.
PA
Like if you put
announcements.
rubbing
It
alcohol
has
too
some
close to your
old
nose and you smell it,
equipment
it
there. I
like
think we could
burns going
probably
all the way up your nasal
break something
passages
up
into
and
your
get a message
chest.
out.
Who
Alright,
wants
yeah.
to drink that?
Let's head over there and see if we can contact somebody. Put that back, Dylan.
Yes, you can't be trusted with the firearm.
I will put it back.
It's never good to be
when
aggressive when
we're
you're
good and
holding a
safe, and
firearm
help is on the way.
in a situation where aggression is not warranted.
Okay, just
In this
careful with it.
situation, aggression is not warranted. Do not be aggressive when you're handling the firearm. You should also never point the firearm at
It's
anything you don't
probably
wish
the
to destroy,
weather.
or which is
What
not
weather,
threatening you.
Ryan?
And you should always keep your finger off the
It was
trigger.
the bears.
Isn't rubbing alcohol
And why does everyone
70%
blame
alcohol?
everything
It's
on bears?
actually
Okay.
90%.
So, for the sake of argument,
I
what
made
if
a
that
meme
bear
on
that,
Instagram a
cut
couple
our
days
phone
ago
line
with
and
it,
just cut out all
and
the
it
power?
was
What if that
it
bear
was
is
from The
waiting for
Office,
us out in the
which I've
hallway?
never watched. I've watched like 2 episodes of
Fair
it.
point.
Thank you.
With the lady whose name I don't know, and she's like, corporate needs you to find the difference between these 2 pictures, but it's the
Probably tell
same
Kayla
thing.
that we're going to the radio.
And I had put a picture of the bottle of rubbing alcohol we had
let's go.
next to the bottle of the moonshine. I was like, that's the same thing, but the rubbing alcohol is, it's actually less than
Yeah, we should probably leave
30%
that
more
with-
alcohol content. 63 to 90. So, or 91. Whatever it was.
Do you think she really needs it, though?
She needs it just as much as we do.
Or there may
She's
be
staying in the
some
lodge.
rubbing
We're going out
alcohols
there.
that are
You literally just said there might be something dangerous in the lodge.
only 70%.
When?
I don't know.
Like 20 seconds
But the
ago.
ones that I buy from CVS
Okay,
are
sure,
90%.
But that's because I really
The
want
more
it.
rubbing
Just give
alcohol
her
you
the gun,
have,
man.
the better germ killing properties also. Let's just give him the gun. So you
alright.
can kill
You're right.
bacteria. So you have isopropyl
Hey, well,
alcohol,
still not
which
mine.
is rubbing alcohol.
If you're extra nice to me, I
Oh
might let you
god.
hold it.
And there's another type of alcohol. I can't
Don't
remember
write a
what
check
it
if
is
you're
now.
asking Cash.
And
My ass
they
has got
kill
quite the
different
bank account.
things. So isopropyl alcohol will kill viruses.
Am I interrupting?
I guess it'll
something?
kill bacteria because you're supposed to use it on wounds. So isopropyl alcohol will kill bacteria, and the other one is made to kill viruses. I'm trying to sit here and remember my microbiology that I took.
Chin up, big guy.
But the one that
I
kills
wouldn't really know what to do with it,
viruses,
I trust you.
the type of alcohol that kills viruses
thank
is
you
what's
so much,
in the
Dylan. You're
alcohol
so
that you
generous and
drink.
handsome. Yeah, no problem.
So when people are like, "Oh, I'm gonna drink alcohol to kill the cold or the flu or whatever that I have," I mean, it's kind of valid, but it's also really not because there's no way you're gonna kill a virus by drinking alcohol
To see you. Good to see you.
or rubbing alcohol for that reason, for that
Time again, is it?
purpose either.
Why do
Yeah,
you
I know. I didn't
come?
bring you any cards.
Why do you come if you've not found my cards? There are truths in the cards.
I'm sorry, lady.
Truths that can only be revealed if you bring them to me.
I don't want to bring you anything.
So it's goodbye again. I'll leave you with this. Remember who your friends are. Remember who's looking out for you.
Not you. It's probably bad for your gut health to drink that stuff. Rubbing alcohol, yes. Yeah, I can't imagine. I mean, putting any kind of chemicals in your body is not going to be good for your health. Except certain things in moderation, like alcohol is technically a chemical, but they say that if you drink red wine occasionally, it's good for your heart, and it has,
Hey,
those,
couldn't find
those
anything
other
to
little
eat.
things that are supposed to
Kitchen's
be good
pretty
for your
cleaned
gut
out.
health or whatever.
Oh shoot, I left my bag. I brought you this.
It's honestly hard to know anymore at this point. You know, one day they're saying that coffee's bad for you, and then the next day they're saying, oh, you should have coffee because it's
How are
good
you
for your
feeling?
memory, and then they're saying, no, don't have too much caffeine because it'll give you Alzheimer's. Don't have red wine because it's alcohol, and alcohol is bad for you. Yes, have red wine because it has those
well,
tetraformins or whatever,
I'm just happy you're
and
okay.
it'll
Are
keep
you
you
okay?
healthy.
I'm sorry. I just asked you that.
It's okay.
I think just make the best decisions for your lifestyle and what you're doing and your own health, and do it in moderation.
All right, they're off to find a radio or something.
What's with the,
We found another in Mr. H's office, so just in case.
what happened to the lights?
Not sure. Any better?
I'm doing okay. Kinda.
Wait, are they going to the radio hut?
Phone's dead. They're gonna try to send out an SOS or something. We're holding down the fort.
Yes, come
Did
now.
anybody else hear that?
Shh. No, nobody heard it. We all only just stopped and started looking around when we heard the footsteps.
You said Dylan and Ryan already
Stupid.
left.
Wait, stay here. I'll check it out.
So apparently, if I
Fine.
kill everybody and let Caitlin live,
Stay alert.
then I can get the final girl trophy, which I would really like to get. So it's very annoying that I have to play through every single part of this game. I can't just like save at specific parts and then go back and replay. And I'm sure they probably do that on purpose because they don't want people doing that. But it's just annoying because it's not like this is a 2-hour game. You know, even with me running through and just trying to make the quickest decisions possible and not really trying to make it longer than it is, I think I'm already at like 3 hours playing. They send out a save our peanut butter pops. Oh my gosh, I hate that song. I don't think I've ever heard an earworm so annoying as that before. You know what's different about this game compared to Until Dawn? Until Dawn allowed me to have more agency with the characters. I did a lot more movement and walking around with them. Whereas this one is a lot of the characters walking around and doing things on their own. And I kind of just make random decisions and have them talk to each other. Where the hell are you, Bobby? Bobby with his silly little hat.
Hey, so this may not be like the best time per se, but like
It'll never be the best time, Nick. You're terrible. Nobody likes you.
yeah. So like I was just thinking about like the stuff.
Yeah, it's a long,
first met,
marginally
started
interactive
camp
cutscene.
and-
That's what most
now
of this
summer's
is, and the
over and
annoying part is the
was, like,
dialogue isn't even
like the
that
last time
good.
we
Like
were
at
to see each
least
other, you know?
in Until Dawn, there was
Sorry.
a pretty
Nick,
good
what are you
mystery.
saying?
The characters were believable in like how they reacted to the mystery. Like this is parts of this
Don't
are
worry
just
about Caitlin,
absolutely
she's
ridiculous. Where they're all talking about bears and they're so concerned
sorry,
about the
Nick,
bears and
just
did a
distracted.
bear make that noise? Like no,
get through the
it
night,
doesn't sound
okay?
anything like a bear. Have you not watched any National Geographic or like movies or anything?
Maybe I was misreading the situation back there, but kind of felt like a little bit more was going to happen.
Nothing will happen. You're all gonna
Well,
die.
Did you want a little bit more to happen?
Duh, are you dumb?
Hey.
Oh,
Sorry.
rude.
I just mean, of course I wanted it to happen. I just didn't know if you did too.
That seems like such a long time ago now.
You did want it to happen though.
It was
You can tell
forever
me.
ago.
Yeah, I guess.
You're just saying that because I'm hurt.
Nick.
All right. Heads up, don't ever like be this nasty to people who are sitting at your bedside trying to comfort you.
Out there, Caitlin.
Yes. Red flag. Nick is a red flag. He's a walking most of the guys in this are walking red flags. Emma's actually a walking red flag too.
Oh my god.
What happened?
Maybe
Jesus,
not
where's
in the
gun?
beginning, because she
Put the
apparently
gun.
does
No,
tell
it's a
Jacob very
hide.
clearly that this isn't more than a summer fling. And then Jacob just takes it upon himself to think that it's not.
Gotcha, girlie.
But then her behavior after that is kind of red flag-ish.
Whack-a-mole. She's mine.
I wonder if I can kill him. Oh, wait, no, I don't think I want to kill him. Because I need him to stab Ryan in Chapter 9, so that I can then pull the knife out of my side and die. Fun fact, kids, for anybody who's listening to this, if you are ever stabbed with an object, do not pull it out. You don't know. The true horror was whatever family life they had before coming to summer camp. Yeah, that life must not have been that great for these people to be acting so funny, especially the hillbilly guys.
Actual
But yeah, don't pull anything out if you've ever been stabbed with it. Even if it's not a knife, like if you get impaled on a tree branch or something because you fell off a cliff, or I don't know, the tree fell on you or whatever. You don't know what that tree branch or item has damaged, and by pulling the item out, you may cause more damage, and that item is also in the way of anything bleeding, so pulling it out is just going to release that pressure, and then you are more likely going to bleed out. So, if you've ever been impaled or stabbed by something, seek immediate medical attention and don't pull it out. Ryan is one of the good ones, though. Yeah, Ryan is one of the ones that I'll be disappointed.
I think I want to major in.
Where'd Ryan go? Where am I going? Why did they put me facing this way? Is this where I'm supposed to go? No.
Wait, what?
So stupid. I like Ryan. I like Dylan, even though he's kind of dumb and wants to amputate Nick's leg. And Caitlin.
Not here.
Those are my three favorite characters. Because they're the most reasonable, they're the least dickish. I guess that's why Ryan is supposed to be second to last to die. And Dylan, I think, is like third to last to die.
I'm fascinated by this. What do you mean by not here?
Not here at.
And Caitlin is supposed to be our final girl.
And then here,
You're a wise
which I guess makes sense. So if you're looking at it in the schema or the theme of like your final girl, final girls are supposed to be like the more badass, more masculine types of women.
By making a bunch of jokes.
You played into it.
They are like, they don't cry or scream, or they have a lot of agency. They are the ones who take charge and stuff. And Caitlin's basically done that this whole time. Emma a little less so. Like she's very take charge, and she what's it called?
Meet you, Dylan.
Emma takes charge and she gets things done, and
let's get the fuck out of
she kind of doesn't let other people play around with her, but at the same time she's, I guess, basically the slutty one. She gets down into her underwear, which is always a no-no in horror movies. Although, to a certain extent, they've kind of gotten rid of that trope, or that aspect of the trope. And that was something that Scream did for the Final Girls, because Sidney Prescott and the other girl, I forget what her name is, but they both have sex in Scream and they both survive, which was always like a guaranteed you're gonna die in a horror movie. Final Girls never had sex or did anything like that. So that's changed a little bit, and woo, spooky time. And a couple other things have changed. I also read an interesting article in my my research and my search for information, which talks about Wendy from The Shining and Barbara from the original Night of the Living Dead, the 1968
All
one or
good?
whatever. Yes, we are all good. Let's go. Let's get inside. We don't need to be looking for anything.
All good.
Just get in and get this done. And basically how everybody kind of rags on Wendy and Barbara because they don't appear to be strong characters, because Wendy is basically screaming the entire time and she's flailing, and
Kind of a dump,
even
huh?
Stephen King called her like a wet dish rag.
Okay, when I was a
Or a
camper
screaming
here, it
dish
was
rag or
barely
whatever.
working. It hadn't been used
They're
for
coming to
years,
get you,
and it took me a
Barbara.
really
Yeah.
long time, actually, to get this place
You know,
cleaned
Wendy
up
does
and
not, and like
looking
just
the way it
her
is,
her
so
stature. She's
sorry if it's not up to
thin
your
and kind of
standards,
willowy, and just like
but
she
I've been
looks
putting in a lot of
sad.
skills
She
for you.
doesn't
Okay.
look like
Okay.
Ripley
Let me get
or
this set
who else is a good final girl example? I don't know, Laurie Strode
Anything
or
over here
whoever.
we can use?
She just
power
doesn't look the
tools?
part. And then Barbara, a lot of people are like, oh, all
that's
Barbara
Mr.
does
H
is sit on
wanted
the couch and
more
shake, and she's
storage, so
catatonic and this and that.
it's kinda
But if
how
you look at
that's
them,
the
they both actually show a lot of strengths. Like Wendy basically runs away
So,
from
how far
and
does it go?
hurts Jack and
well, it was
puts him in
designed just to
the
broadcast for
freezer,
PAs
and
around
she
camp
saves
for
herself and she
announcements
saves the
and to,
kid. Like I'm sure
you know,
everybody sat there and
portable
thought that
radios and whatever, so
Dick
I
Halloran
think the range is about
was gonna, who also had
mile.
the Shining or whatever it is, was gonna come in and rescue
How do you even know all this
Danny and Wendy, but he doesn't. He
just
gets
kinda
killed
picked it
almost
up.
immediately upon like appearing in the hotel. Sorry guys,
stuff has
spoilers.
always been a little,
But the movie and the book have been out
hard
for
me to
like
get a
longer
handle
than
on?
I've been alive at this point.
Well, if you like, I could show you the road.
So Wendy
like the
does
glass.
all that and she gets them out,
Yeah, it's
even
easy.
with like being the
climbing.
quote unquote weak
Sign me
character.
up, Teach.
And then Barbara, in the beginning of
Anyways, this thing's gonna
Ripley
need a bit
has
of a
an
power
arch
up.
too. I get the
But
feeling
that's
she's
it.
supposed to be the least necessary.
That's Mike.
Has an arc.
supposed to
The
be
least
a
necessary on their
signal
ship.
booster.
Yeah, I'm
It's
trying to.
kinda
It's
janky
been a
looking,
while
but
since I've seen
worth
Alien,
giving a shot.
and I'm trying to remember what her role on the ship
gonna have to
was. I do remember that
people with
she
this thing?
didn't want to let them
Yeah,
bring
well, it's not a
the guy with the
two-way
alien
radio,
on his face back
so,
into the ship,
you
which
know, we
kind of
can
plays
talk,
into that final
but
girl
then the best
trope
we can
where
do
they
is
know
switch
something's
it over to
wrong
the receiver
and nobody
and see if
believes
anyone
them.
broadcasts anything back,
You see
which
that
is
also in
unlikely,
Halloween.
but-
Laurie sees Michael, and
Okay,
everybody's
I
like,
mean, it
"Oh
is
no,
what it
like
is, I
you're being
guess.
silly." Da da da.
Yeah.
Or more recently,
So, what should
the
I
Invisible Man
Just,
with
like, make it sound
Elizabeth
gorgeous.
Moss, and
Okay.
she's like, "Oh, this guy, he's stalking me, this and that." Everybody's like, "No, you're being stupid. He's
Hello,
dead." Blah
how's it
blah
going out
blah.
there? This
And meanwhile,
is,
she's telling the truth, and
we
she knows
need
what's
help.
going on,
This
and nobody
is,
will believe her.
we're
That's a big
counselors
final
at
girl trope
Hackett's
where
Quarry
the
summer
women
camp,
aren't believed.
And there's been a
She was an
horrible
engineer, I
accident,
believe.
attack,
That might have been
some
it.
stuff's bad
I guess that's why
here.
they left her
We
back
need
on the
your
ship.
help. There is
Which was
a
good for her. She
swarm
didn't get
of
exposed to the
bears, and
aliens.
They are everywhere.
Here we go
and
with the
there's
bears,
these
swarms
hunters
of bears.
too, and they seem
But
to be shooting
Barbara,
at the bears,
in the
but
beginning of
also
the
us,
movie,
which is not
manages
good,
to
and a few
escape
of our
the
friends are
zombies
hurt,
by
and, we are in
rolling her
desperate need of
car
help, so
downhill,
please,
and she's
there's
running around
vicious
without shoes on. Like,
bears, and,
that's pretty tough.
we
Most people
don't
would be
know what
like,
to do,
"Ow,
so
my
please,
feet! Like, I'm scared. I
come
can't get
help
the
us,
car
SOS.
started. What am I supposed to
This
do?"
is
And then they
an
get eaten and
emergency.
die.
Save our ship.
And then
Come
she's
on
also
down,
one of
please
the
help
last
us.
people to die.
Did I do good?
After
Was that-
rescuing
Swarm of bears?
one of the other women
Herd of bears.
from the zombies. Yes, a herd of bears,
Yeah, I've
Ryan.
heard of bears. But
So one of the things this article
Alright,
was
I guess
talking
I should
about
just,
was
like,
that
switch this
Wendy
over to
and
the receiver and
Barbara
see if we
show
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna keep
sides
an eye out
of
while you do all this
people
techie
in these
stuff.
situations that we don't want to acknowledge
Okay, yeah,
exist. So Wendy's in a very abusive domestic violence household with Jack, and she's acting like a victim because she is a victim. She's being victimized by this domestic violence. So it's not unreasonable for her to act a certain way when she's being attacked by him, because usually victims of domestic violence kind of in the fight, flight, freeze, or submit. She's probably used to submitting just to kind of keep peace in the household and not cause any problems. So when things start happening with Jack, she falls back into those patterns until she suddenly realizes that those patterns no longer serve her or her child. So that's why I don't think people I guess are looking at it from an uneducated point of view when they're looking at
Can't be
Wendy.
sure they were talking
She's a badass in her own right. And then Barbara,
I don't know. It really, really sounded like they were.
But then Barbara looks at...
That's not possible, right?
So,
Shit.
realistically, the number of people in a horror movie zombie situation who are going to be like the badasses and the ones who are taking charge and stuff, it's a minority. All this stuff is on a bell curve. Most of us are probably going to be somewhere in the middle where we're like, oh crap, I don't know what I'm doing, and then die. Most people are going to die. This is funny. And those of us who haven't died are going to have a really dramatic trauma response, which can include catatonically sitting there on the couch. So her behaviors are actually the most real. And I think people don't like that because they don't want to think about themselves being like that in that situation. They want to feel like, no, this couldn't be possible. I want to be a badass. I want to see other people being a badass because that's who I want to emulate. No one wants to be the person sitting catatonically on the couch because society doesn't look favorably on those people. Those people are weak. When in reality, that's probably going to be a good amount of us. Aliens, but they think the xenomorphs are spacefarers. Wendy does have the aspect of blaming herself when Jack starts going mad. Exactly. That's part of that submission thing. Like, what did I do wrong? What did I do to make him mad at me? What can I do to make him less mad at me? Those are all hallmarks of victims of domestic violence.
What is that, Brian?
It's a werewolf. No, it's not a werewolf. It's a bear. It's a bear that's mutated and it climbs on the roof.
Fuck.
What?
Caitlin, Abby, and Nick, they're coming up the path.
Oh, shit.
They're coming toward us. We gotta warn them. What about the PA?
Up top? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, we can tell them to hide or something.
Fuck, no. Oh, shit.
Yep, very scary.
Hold the button.
Caitlin, get into a building now. Do not come up here. There's an animal outside the radio hut. Just get into a cabin now. Go!
The bear is getting revenge for you running.
Oh, fuck, dude.
Yep, which I didn't intend to do this time, and because I wasn't paying attention, I accidentally ran the poor squirrel over. In real life, to be honest, I probably wouldn't swerve to a... Well, maybe if I was in, maybe if I was in, like, a golf cart, I would swerve to try to avoid a squirrel. But in real life, in a vehicle, I'm not swerving to avoid a squirrel. Because that's unsafe. It creates an unsafe environment for me and the other people on the road.
High-pitched feedback loop and just blast it. And I mean, it would hurt like hell, but, you know.
It's just not worth it. I don't want to create more problems. That squirrel, survival of the fittest. Sorry, little squirrel.
Okay. Okay, come on, Dylan. Let's do this. Come on. It's almost...
Hurry, Dylan, hurry.
Hurry, let's go.
Everything is right. I did everything right.
It's getting closer, open the door!
Oh boy.
Oh shit, it's attacking the cabins.
Oh crap, it knocked out the wire.
Oh no, it knocked out the wire.
Fix it, I'll cover you.
Is this game any good? I actually really like this game. This is probably my third playthrough. The first time I played for realsies, the second time I was trying to play through to kill all the characters, but I messed up on one of them. So this is the third playthrough where I'm trying to kill them all. It's fun. The dialogue is terrible. Not a fan of the dialogue. I'm just gonna shoot into the tree. Dialogue's not good. Nope, we're not gonna shoot him. But it is amusing, and I do like it. I would recommend it. You know, it's not If you've played Until Dawn, it's not as good as Until Dawn. Until Dawn is arguably the better game. I was actually just sent a game called the Devil Into Me.
Is it safe?
Devil Unto Me.
I think we're okay for now.
Something with the devil. And you are a TV or like an amateur TV crew exploring the history of the H.H. Holmes Hotel. And you are in this hotel, and there's a serial killer in there killing you. I guess he's got the spirit of H.H. Holmes. I guess they're ignoring the fact that the H.H. Holmes Hotel no longer exists. It was bulldozed after he was discovered killing all these people, and they were like, yeah, we got to get rid of this house of horrors. But maybe the concept of the game is they built another hotel over the area, and it's now being haunted by some ghost or whatever.
Did she shoot at us?
No, she's shooting at the werewolf. So for anybody who doesn't know who H.H. Holmes is, he was a serial killer in the late 1800s in Chicago. He set up shop basically at the Chicago World's Fair, and he had a hotel built filled with booby traps and secret torture dungeons and stuff like that. And the way that he got it built, because obviously you would think that if some contractors were in there building this thing and it was like, hey, this is weird, why are you building these weird trapdoors and stuff, they'd be like, we're not doing this. But the way he did it was he would just stop paying them, and they'd be like, all right, we're just gonna leave, we're not gonna finish building this for you. You would think that these contractors would talk to each other and be like, hey, don't work for this dude, he like doesn't pay you. But apparently nobody cared back then in the late 1800s. I think it was like the 1889 1886 World's Fair. Someone can fact check me on that. I just remember it's the late 1800s. So he got this hotel built, and he would go around at night for the people leaving the Chicago's World's Fair, and he picked up mostly prostitutes, because those are the people who usually get killed by serial killers, people that society really doesn't care about. And he would bring them back to the hotel and kill them. I feel like, as a contractor, it's a huge red flag when your client refers to his building as the murder castle.
Looks like that's one less
Is
sperm
that
in the world.
is that how he actually referred to it when he asked them to help him build it? Because if he did, these contractors are jacked up. Like, for real.
Keep looking,
But yeah, I think he's fascinating. He is considered to be the first documented serial killer in the United States.
So much time
So the first documented serial killer ever is Jack the Ripper. But Holmes is supposed to be and I say documented because I'm sure, serial killers are not necessarily something new. They've always been around. Or maybe not always. I'm sure when there were smaller populations, it was a lot harder to get away with repeated killings like that, and there were also like fewer people for you to repeatedly kill. But it's not necessarily a new phenomenon, so the fact that there might have been a serial killer in the United States or in the world other places prior to Jack the Ripper and H.H. Holmes is probably pretty good. But Holmes was the first recorded one in the United States. LOL, fact check. Yes, someone fact checked. I don't think he said it out loud, but it was called the Murder Castle. Alright. Should we do something? Yes. Let's go with that choice. So...
Should we?
Yeah,
do
fun
something?
fact about serial killer H.H. Holmes.
She's dead.
I mean, with the body.
If you want to read a good book about it, it's Murder
Haley Hackett.
Murder in the
H's
White
daughter?
City.
I thought she went home with her brother.
I think is what it's called, because Chicago at one
Kaylee.
point was called the White City, I believe.
I thought so too.
So that was Devil in the White City. That's what it is. Devil in the White City. It's a pretty good book. It's really interesting. It's really disturbing. It talks all about like the murders and how he chose them and how he built this place.
Fuck off, Caitlin.
But what was the conversion like when he got someone to install grease chutes in a lime pit? Devil in the White City. Yep, that one.
What do you...
Oh, what was the conversation like when he got someone to install grease chutes in a lime pit? I don't know. Maybe he was like, this is where I'm gonna dump, like, livestock from the kitchens, because it was supposed to be a hotel. So maybe the argument was he's gonna be butchering his own animals in there. Or maybe they just didn't ask questions. I think people forget sometimes that, like, the 1800s in this country and in the world as a whole was like a totally different animal. You know, people did things and got away with things that nowadays we look at it and we're like, are you freaking kidding me? Even New York City, I've read a bunch of books about like murders in New York City, Duel with the Devil, Murder of the Century, and those both deal with murders that happened in late 1800s, early 1900s New York City, and they talk about how many people died on the regular in New York City, and not died from like natural causes, but were murdered, to the point where it was not unusual for multiple bodies to wash up on the docks of Manhattan regularly, like multiple bodies, and just to just nonchalantly accept that as a fact of life in that time period is just insane to me. The Civil War just ended. Everyone was both traumatized and desensitized to violence. Yeah.
Easy, man.
And you know, and New York City at that time was also coming up with a lot of gang violence. You had actually just seen a lot of the, I forget what the riots were called in New York City, and actually New York as a whole, when they decided to draft people for the Civil War, to fight in the Civil War, because a lot of people in New York and the North as a whole were kind of like, yeah, no, that we don't want this fight. Like, if they want to leave, like, let them leave. We don't really care. Keeping the Union together was more a thing of like what Abraham Lincoln wanted to do. It wasn't necessarily something that all the northern states wanted. So I don't remember what the riots were called, but it also had a lot to do with gang violence. If you've ever seen the movies, or not movies, the movie Gangs of New York with Leonardo DiCaprio and all those other people, it's a really good movie, and it's also fairly factual. It's a long movie, but all the gangs that are mentioned in it are legit gangs from that time period in New York City. The amount of violence you see in there is legitimately the kind of violence you would see in New York City. And towards the end of it is where you see the riots regarding the draft notices, and it's kind of where all the gangs join together and they're like, yeah, no, we're not doing this anymore. You can't tell us what to do. So it's a good movie. I like movies that even though there's probably a little dramatization, and going back to that time period, it's a little hard to get like factual stuff, because a lot of these people were either lionized or demonized, and the stories have become so much bigger than life. It's hard to figure out what is true and what was made up. And you see that if you ever read books about like the Wild West. So there's a book that I read called The Last Gunfight. It's about the fight between Wyatt Earp and those other brothers. I can't remember their names, with Doc Holliday and everybody. And one in the preface, or I guess the introduction, the author talks about how the story is as factual as they can possibly make it, but you have to read it with the understanding that
I think it's more about a drinking, not just getting wet. This is like,
some of these stories have been, I guess, essentially corrupted over time, to the point where they are not really factual anymore, but like the seed of it is. And I just think that's so interesting.
Can I ask you something? Of course.
This is where I gotta let him kill Abby. I don't know what's going on with you. Let's just make him angry.
What's going on with you right now, but I like the old Nick better.
We all like the old Nick better.
I
I mean, I don't like Nick in general, but at least
said.
old Nick wasn't a dick.
I am telling you the truth.
I only hung out with you because you seem so desperate. Poor, pathetic little Abby ready to throw herself at the first guy.
Oh, and I guess going back to my little chat about Final Girls, we talked about Caitlin and Emma.
Right off the bone.
Abby is
This isn't you.
straight side character material. She's not strong enough to be the final girl, but she's also not like the slutty one.
Abby, everything okay?
She's kind of just like straight side character. So this is where I have to not shoot him and just let him kill her. Look at those spooky mirrored eyes. They give you so much time to shoot these guys. I can't do it. I love him, even though he's been a complete jerk to me this whole time. This is interesting. So I've shot him every single time, so I haven't gotten to see this transformation. Because shooting him just makes him turn into the werewolf right away. So now we get to see like an actual transformation. He still explodes. Alright. So they still all get covered in blood. Oh. Very creepy. Oh boy. Oh. Murder! Oh my gosh. He literally ripped my head off and threw it across the room. Oh, that's great. That's great. So does anybody else want to hear about random, like, have any random facts they want to... No, I don't want to let her live. Does anybody else want to have, like, know any random facts or that they want to share or have questions about random things in history? I'm like full of random facts and knowledge, mostly about like serial killers though, and American history, but I can try if you have a question. Or if you have a fun fact you want to share, I'll read it out and maybe babble about it for a little while. Let's see. This is really bad.
This is bad. This is really bad.
We just witnessed a murder.
You know,
What are we gonna do?
we're fucked. We're really fucked. We don't even know what's out there.
We don't know what's out there. We don't know who's coming in, who's going out, like...
Oh, shit.
Where the fuck is Chris Hackett?
He ain't here. He left. Who is it?
Who's there?
I need your help. Please.
Who are you?
My name is Laura Kearney.
So?
I
Don't
was
let me
supposed to
in.
be
It's not
one of
safe
the
out here.
counselors that
Yeah,
was
there's
there
a
with you
crazy woman
guys,
with a
but
gun
then I
killing
got
people.
lost.
Not
There are over
killing
200,000 unsolved
Holy shit,
murders in the U.S. committed
Laura
by a
Kearney,
serial
you're
killer.
Laura Kearney?
Yes?
A serial killer or multiple
supposed to be
serial killers? Because
working,
that seems like a lot of
helping out in
work
the
for one
nurse's
person.
Office, right? You never showed up. You and the
Actually,
guy
one
was-
of the serial
Yes,
killers,
yeah.
who was
Mr.
super
Hackett said
recent,
that you had changed your mind last minute.
Ed Kemper at one point held the
I think
record
we
of
should-
most
I think we
books
should listen
recorded
to
for audio listening and multiple silly. Ed Kemper at one point held the record of most books recorded. So he's recording his voice for audiobooks? That's insane.
I'm gonna open the
Wow.
door. Slowly. Just keep your hands up, okay?
That's crazy. I guess he's not getting any money from it because I know they had, or at least in New York, they have this law that was created because of David Berkowitz that people who are in jail cannot benefit from the proceeds, cannot gain any proceeds from stuff
we
that they
are
sell
again.
or anything like that.
Just you and me. Why don't we take another look at what you've found?
Can you come here for a minute, please?
Did you
I need
look
to go to the
hard
bathroom.
enough?
Can you just...
These cards
talk?
aren't just trinkets.
Yeah.
You should know this by now. They can help you. I can help you. Off you go then.
This is people who are on the stream.
I don't know who they are.
It doesn't matter. Just talk to them. Talk about something, I don't know, talk about Farming Simulator. I'll be right back.
Oh, Jesus. What's going on? Do they not talk back? Oh, no, they comment. I see what's going on. Don't be afraid, Kyle. Not afraid. I don't know how this works. I don't do Twitch too often. Or not too often, but basically not at all. Never. I've been playing Farm Simulator in the other room. Now I gotta go get food for lunch tomorrow. 128 proof alcohol. What are you running for? I'm not running for anything. No, nothing. It's just, it tastes good, I guess, a little bit. It's an acquired taste, I should say. Yeah, definitely, don't recommend it if you don't really like, sour taste, I guess it'd be. Not really sure. Was there only 2 people on here?
I don't know. In the chat?
Oh. Well, I'll see you later, guys. I gotta go get salad for tomorrow for lunch.
Okay.
Who's John Avita?
That's John.
Oh, John?
Yes, that's that's John. And then Jason is he's one of, I know him through Instagram.
Oh.
Don't be afraid, Kyle. Proof 128 proof alcohol. What are you running from? He's running from having to live with me. I'm kidding, obviously. He loves living here, right, Kyle?
Yes.
Terribly exciting.
So those are actually some fast chapters. 4, 5, 6. Are we in chapter 7? Because if we are, I got to make sure. I think I got to shoot T-Money to make sure. Oh yeah, we are. Okay.
Didn't you come?
We're
So,
okay. I'll see you later.
Why didn't you come?
So this is the past behind us. So let me see what I got to make sure. Kyle
did
plays
come.
Farming Simulator. He should try Train
One night
Simulator.
early.
The story sometimes feels like it's
That was
on
our
rails,
mistake.
though. Oh, look at those puns. So punny.
What happened?
He came back in because he heard Train Simulator. Apparently there's something called Train Simulator that maybe you should try. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'll look that up.
What happened to the game now? I'm only like half paying attention to the game. I gotta make sure. So let's see. So I've killed Abby. Okay, how to kill Nick. By the end of chapter 8, Ryan and Lauren will find some blah blah blah. Oh no, I don't need to know how to kill Nick. I need to know how to kill Laura. Okay, so Laura gets killed in chapter 9. Following the previous death, we'll call out. If Ryan misses the shot, Chris will be alive and Laura will attack Travis with a shard of glass.
Come here. Come on.
However, if you killed Chris but Laura didn't build a strong bond with Travis, he will stab her multiple times with his shard of glass. To make Travis hostile against you, you need to shoot him in chapter 7. Alright. So I have to make sure...
You goddamn
So I have to make sure I shoot Chris Hackett. Alright, so I just gotta make Travis hostile. I gotta make Team Money hostile towards me.
What have you done to Max?
Shut up.
You can't
Because I need to
shut
shoot
up.
Chris
This is an
to
interrogation.
kill Max.
I ask, you answer.
Okay. So I have to be a complete bitch to this guy right now.
Name.
So,
eat.
When I say name,
in regards to the 200,000
you
unsolved
give me your
murders, there was a guy, a serial
make
killer who's
myself
fairly
clear?
recent,
my license, can't you
called Israel
I'm an officer
Keys.
of
He
the
lived in
law.
Alaska,
I need you to do as
oddly
you're
enough,
told and answer the
outside of
goddamn
Anchorage.
questions.
And they actually did a book about him recently called American Predator.
I don't care what you are.
And
Hold us like this. This isn't legal.
basically what he would do was he would go on these
I want a
like
lawyer.
business
Stop.
trips and travel all over the United
You need to
States
shut
and
your
leave
mouth and listen to me,
these
or there's
kill
going to be a
kits
problem.
stashed in different
Do
areas.
we have a problem?
And when he felt like it and he was out there for business or whatever, he would just dig up this kill kit and murder people in the area. And that's why it was so difficult for them to find him, because or to
Guess that
tie these
sheriff's
murders
badge
together,
doesn't mean a whole lot
because
if
he
you
was
don't believe in
killing
the law.
literally all over the United States, from
me?
Arizona to Maine. He
We
was
didn't
killing
do
people.
anything.
And I
You locked
think
us
they
up.
were able to
Explain that to me.
tie like
Lady,
8 people to
I
him,
don't think you have any idea
but
what kind
based-
of shit you just stepped into.
but based on
Very shit. And then
diaries
shit.
that they found and kill kits that they found stashed that he had written about in his diaries and just his travel plans and stuff, they feel that it's possible he killed a few hundred people. And the FBI has been trying to work on closing cold cases based on his travel patterns, because they feel that it's very likely that he killed these people. And one of the more disturbing things to come out of Israel's story is that the FBI, like, usually people, like, the general belief was that if you were going to be killed, it was going to be by somebody you knew, whereas the FBI admitted here
Don't
that
try that shit with me.
you are there's a lot more likelihood that you may be killed by a stranger than they have previously admitted to.
Hey, you asshole!
And one of the more disturbing things in the story that came out of his diaries was that one time he was sitting in the woods, I believe it was in Vermont, with a gun, and he wrote that he was just watching people walk through the
Max,
woods and
screaming
how
at him's not
easy
gonna
it would be to just pick them off and nobody would notice,
okay?
like either with the gun or
think so.
if he kidnapped them and
know.
nobody would know. And like, it's a really scary thing, especially like I spend a lot of time in the woods by myself, or I have
Why am I
spent a lot of time in the woods by myself, and it's a very vulnerable experience,
after we
especially
got
when you think of
attacked,
it like that, because like, was
next thing I
someone
know, I'm
ever
waking
sitting
up
in the
in a
woods
jail cell
watching
and you're
me
gone,
thinking like,
and now you're
gee,
back again,
like
and
maybe
I'm
I should
super
kidnap
naked
this
and there's
girl or
blood
try to
and
kill her, or like
stuff
shoot her, and like I would never
everywhere.
even know if someone tried to shoot me or
mean,
did
what the
shoot
fuck
me
happened?
from the woods. Like, how do you know those things? So it's really kind of freaky.
Yeah, so our host was very keen.
My
on getting me to
brother-in-law was a
confess,
PO when
but
he
I
got
honestly
caught.
couldn't
That
tell
had
you
to have
what
been
I was meant to be
wild.
owning up to.
Jesus.
Did he have
What,
any
he
like
used to try to get you
interactions
to
with him,
talk?
or was he just
Pincher, the
on the
blade?
force at the time?
3-hole punch?
No, he wasn't torturing me.
Who does this guy think
But-
he is?
Well, Sheriff
Dude
of
was a
North
predator
Hill,
for sure.
apparently.
He robbed banks to fund
Hill?
and gear up for the murder. Yep.
Yeah.
And that's part of
What?
what got him messed up,
Did you
because
even
he
look
I think
at the
the
map?
last person that he
Tackett's
supposedly
Quarry in
murdered
North
was a
Hill.
girl
That's the town.
in Anchorage, and they have like these
it gets better.
coffee huts, I guess,
I gotta look at his
where
name
these girls
badge,
are, and they're mostly girls, and he basically kidnapped her out of the coffee hut and I don't remember if it was her credit cards he took, but after he killed her, he traveled like down south to Arizona and was trying to withdraw money from her accounts. And
Get dressed.
it wasn't working. There were like
you?
weird limits on there and stuff like that. So that's kind of how the police got alerted to him, and they were following him. It would have been really interesting to get into his head and like learn more about him, but unfortunately he killed himself while he was in custody.
For brains.
Unfortunately, no, Keys was in a different facility, but my in-law offered him and his team to help. They never got a call to help, though. Yeah, police agencies can be really protective or obsessive about, like, getting credit for cases and keeping them, which can make it difficult to track stuff across state lines or even across county lines, which is unfortunate because these criminals aren't just like stuck in one area. They move around and they go places and stuff, and you know, it would be helpful if people would communicate and be more friendly with each other so that these things could actually get solved or addressed. Yeah, there are coffee shacks all over the state. It's an Alaska thing.
Hey, leave him alone.
Yeah, leave me alone, asshole.
Both of you shut up.
Fuck you.
I said shut up.
Yeah, I've never seen a coffee shack, I think, anywhere else.
You're hurting it. Hey!
The only thing I can think of that's similar is in the South, I've seen the ice machines that they have, and it's basically just a machine. It's like a big machine. It's I guess,
There's gotta be something in here you can
I don't want to say the size of a small building because the size of a small building could be relative. There's a couple things I gotta click on in here.
Well, the town of North
But I guess maybe it's like a 10 by 20 piece of equipment, and you put money in there and you get ice and you can get water out of there.
The sheriff continues his creeping.
Up here is where I find my stabby spoon.
Ew.
It's a drug spoon. No, take the stabby spoon.
What's this?
A secret brick.
Not a chance. I need some sort of lever.
Yes, the stabby spoon that was in the window. Why am I covered in blood? Unclear.
That could work. Yeah, this ought to do it. Yes.
Ah, yes. Hide my little spoon. Oh no, I put the spoon back. I would have thought I'd hide the spoon, but I guess not. Here comes stupid, useless Max again.
Watch it, man. I bruise easily.
Yeah, I bruise easily. So whiny.
Hey, the second we get out of here, you're toast, motherfucker.
Sure. Second you get out.
What's that supposed to mean?
What the fuck is that supposed to mean? Hey! What the fuck is that supposed to mean, asshole?
It means you're gonna be here for a very, very long time.
Hey! Come back!
It's an odd framing choice.
Son of a binky bonky.
Again, like the word choices here, the characters curse throughout the game,
Are you okay?
and yet they
just
say
your
things
foot.
like that.
It'll heal.
I meant the interrogation.
Oh. Yeah. Can't break old Max. Many have tried, many have failed.
I'm being serious, Max.
Max is incapable of being serious because he's not going to
Yeah.
college.
He just asked a lot of questions. A lot of weirdly specific questions about us and where we were going and why and how I was feeling this morning, and
Well, I mean, he knew where you were going.
I don't
That's where he
know.
captured you, so...
nothing I said made him seem any less annoyed.
He asked how you were feeling?
Yeah.
I've been doing a good job
Why, he didn't
of
ask
making
you?
him hate me. I need him to
Nope.
hate me.
Huh. Rude.
Look at this mood lighting. Excellent. So dreary and sad. Here's a fun
Oh,
fact.
hey,
Ted
did you
Bundy
get
did
a
not
look at his name
demonstrate
badge?
any behaviors
You mean it's
of
not
the
really Detective
McDonald
Dick Whippet?
Triad.
It's Hackett.
So if you're not
Sheriff
familiar, the
Hackett.
McDonald Triad is
You think
what
he's
they
related to
look
Chris
for
Hackett?
when looking at serial killers,
Oh my
or
God,
what they
like the Chris
found
Hackett?
Yeah.
Who's the Chris Hackett?
correlates with
As in
serial
camp
killer
leader,
behavior. So
Mr.
it's
Hackett of
bedwetting
Hackett's
beyond a
Quarry,
reasonable
remember?
age, because bedwetting in and of itself is not like negative. Kids can sometimes bedwet up until like
Last
5
night
years
feels
old,
like
and
a
it's just
lifetime
because
ago.
they're kids. They're still learning how to control their
fuck does that
bladders.
mean, though?
So
You know?
bedwetting beyond a reasonable
What we
age is
set
when
up?
you're still wetting the bed up until like your teen years.
Maybe it's some
Arson,
kind of crazy camp
and usually
counselor
it's beyond like
kidnapping ring.
That's
curiosity,
I mean-
because sometimes kids have a curiosity with
What?
fire. Fire, ooh, scary, like I'm not allowed to play with it. But like actually setting things on fire
Like some kind of setup,
with the
like
purpose
a
of damaging
trap. I don't
things
know.
and hurting people.
Chris
And
Hackett
the
and
third
Sheriff
part of the
Hackett, there's no way
triad
that's a
is animal
coincidence.
abuse.
Okay.
They
So
must be
either
related.
purposely
does
killing
that prove?
animals or torturing
They
them,
knew we were coming.
capturing them to torture
Maybe
them.
it's
So all of those
some
three
kind of
things have been found to
kidnapping,
correlate with
extortion.
serial killer behavior.
Conspiracy.
That's a pretty big
And
job.
Ted Bundy did not have any of them.
I'm just
Interesting.
trying to get
Ted
us
Bundy's
out of
also
here, and
one
I
of the
can't get
people
us out
with
of here until I
what
have
we
some
believe
clue
to
of
have
why
one
the
of the
fuck
higher
we're in
body
here.
counts.
I don't know. What if we can't make sense of it?
He was
What?
also brilliant.
Well, you have to.
I'm trying to
Sometimes
think
things just
of
don't
what
make
negative
sense.
life experiences he had.
What
I
then?
think he had
We're just stuck in a backwater jail cell
family
for the rest
issues.
of our
I
lives?
think his mom might have been abusive.
Stop. Come on, lighten up.
Yeah, easy for you to say.
I wonder why
What?
parental abuse wasn't
Can't you
on
ever
there.
accept what's happening? Sometimes shit is just shit.
Because I mean, one of the things
And
that
not everything's some
you
challenge
see,
for you to overcome.
I'm pretty sure almost
actually,
consistently
yeah, it
across
is.
serial killers is abuse, usually by
We're
the
gonna get out of here.
maternal parent.
I'm gonna study to be a vet, and you're.
Because the father is usually not in the picture.
What? I'm gonna what?
You're gonna
I saw the
fail.
letter, Max.
What are you talking about?
The rejection letter for college. I found it in your bag.
The jig is up, Max.
You were
We all
poking around in
know.
my stuff?
I can't believe you didn't tell me.
I was embarrassed.
Your grades were good, and you wrote a great essay?
Yeah, apparently not good enough.
Fuck! You've been making plans, Max. What the fuck?
I don't know. What do you want me to say?
This is why it's important to communicate.
Maybe something like, sorry I lied to you and led you on into thinking we were going to college together in the fall? That'd be a good start.
You see, I knew you'd be like this.
Oh, fuck that. No, you lied. Just
I knew you'd
suck it
be
up
like
and
this.
apologize, or
Well,
this is
maybe
gonna be
if you had
one
told her in the
long-ass
beginning, she wouldn't be
incarceration.
so mean to you right now.
Okay,
I'm just saying.
I'm sorry.
Honesty is usually the best policy.
Happy?
especially when it comes to people that you're supposed to be in a committed relationship with and making future plans with.
Okay, let's just
because if you're not
focus
honest
on
about it,
getting
how
out of
can you
here
make
for now.
appropriate
Great.
future
Sign me
plans?
up.
We need to go over it from the beginning.
Like from when we left home?
Like from when we ran into the cop.
So after we ran into the...
The
whatever
thing
we
on
ran
the
into?
road,
Yeah. Actually,
the werewolf.
yeah, that's when shit started getting weird.
A serial killer soup has
think it was a
lots
good idea
of
to have lied
recipes.
to him?
Sometimes it's more they are
About
born
hitting
that
a
way.
pothole?
Sometimes it's them
Yeah.
getting formed that way. Sometimes it's
know.
both. Yeah, it's that
I
whole
think he
nature
probably
versus
knew we were
nurture
lying.
thing.
He was acting really strange.
What if he's not even a real cop?
Sometimes I see kids
Well, he's
that
gotta be
have
dirty,
really
but-
good upbringings and
I
like
think
their
he's a
parents are
real
normal
cop.
and their upbringings were normal, and
We're in a
yet they're
police
out there
station.
I mean, yeah, but
just
there's
assaulting people, and they're just really
nobody
angry,
else
and I
around.
don't understand why. And other times you get kids
Yeah, that
who
is concerning.
you can kind of
Especially the whole
understand
hack-it,
why
hack-it
they're
thing.
out there assaulting people and
Let's
they're
just go
being
with the idea that they're
belligerent.
both in on it.
Okay.
So we're supposed to meet Chris Hackett at the camp.
But
and
neither
instead,
of them is really
there's nobody there,
completely
and we get attacked
predictive
by
of human
something.
behavior.
and then the cop shows up.
That part's all fuzzy for me.
Oh look, that person who
Like,
popped
I
in started
remember
following
the
me.
steps and a smell like
Thank you.
wet fur and a
I'm so happy to no longer have
dog
only
collar
19
with the name
followers because I
Ian
don't
on
like
it.
the number
Ian?
19. It's not a
Ian.
nice round number. 20 is a
I don't
nice
think it was
round
a dog that
number.
attacked us. Whatever it was big. Like,
I don't even know who's
person-sized big.
following
yeah,
me,
it really
to be
did a number
honest.
on you. Like I'm
I don't know
surprised you're
who
not
these 20
more
people
messed
are,
up.
but
like,
I
vividly
appreciate
remember the
all
things
of you.
Keith ripping into you.
What is messed up about that is, Laura, I don't have a scratch on me.
Yep, I'm sure she's seen that because she saw you.
Hey,
How did you not
Okay,
notice?
so weird question. Do you remember before
He
we got
walked
lost?
past you, completely
You
fine.
got lost.
Well,
Yes,
yeah, but
you got us
before that,
lost.
I was all like, "Whoa, look at the moon! It's so big, so cool to see a full moon in the middle of the woods." And you were all like, "Yeah, no shit, Max.
Nope,
it
that's
happens
usually
once a month."
spooky time. You don't
Yeah,
want to be in the
so?
woods in the dark
Right. So,
with a full moon.
you know, full moon.
I've gotten lost
Yeah.
in Appalachian TikTok a couple
What if,
times, and that is some spooky stuff.
Okay.
Just like
Stop.
the
I'm just saying,
things they
you know,
tell
maybe
you
there's a
about
slight
like
chance
what you should and shouldn't do in the woods, and
It was a werewolf.
people still do them, and I don't know. I don't
you
know
out
how
of-
much people. What happened?
Goddamn mine? Werewolves? Seriously? Werewolves? Seriously? What the fuck?
The game glitched here last time
What-
too when
what-
I was
what's
playing.
So funny?
I said literally the exact same thing.
Okay.
And you
got
still
anything
choose to
better? I
hike.
mean, like,
Yes,
zombies,
mostly. So
aliens,
one time,
time
I
hopping
usually try to
Draculas.
not hike at night. During COVID, I was less
Dying,
strict
right?
about that because I was hiking out
Shut the
early
fuck
in the
up.
morning to see the sunrise,
finish,
or
man.
I was staying late so that I could see the sunset. So I'm hiking out in the
Would
dark.
it really be
And
so
it was
crazy?
spooky.
With all the shit
One
that we've been
time
seeing
I
with
decided
Nick,
to not
with the thing
do the
on the
hike
roof?
because I was
Okay,
as I
it
was
really
walking
starts to
in.
explain a lot of
I was
stuff.
hearing a lot of
I'm
like
just trying to keep an open mind, okay?
it's
This is like
it
your ghost
sounded
story.
like
How's
something
this so
big
different
in the
from your ghost
woods,
story?
Those are just
like
campfire
dropping
stories.
tree
Like, there
branches
has
and
to be a
stuff, and I'm
rational
like,
explanation for everything.
you know what?
For all of this.
I don't need to see the sunrise that badly. So I walked back to my car. And then there was another time when I was down in, and I'm not in the
There's more to all
Appalachian
this
Mountains
than you
here,
think.
or at least the area that I was in
Just let me
is not
finish.
part of
You
that.
can decide for yourself
But
if you
I
believe
was
me or
in
not. I don't
Tennessee,
care.
which is part, and the area that
think
I
you
was
should
in
hear
was
all of it.
part of the Appalachian Mountains. And I was up really early to do this hike because it was supposed to take me like 5 or 6 hours, and I wanted to be back to my car by
The
like
next few
12,
weeks
1
were
o'clock.
long.
And
The cop
I'm
kept
out
us
on the
fed
road.
and
It's
let us take
probably like
showers,
6
but
o'clock in the
aside from
morning.
that,
It's
we
still pitch
barely
black.
saw
I'm
him.
driving down these Tennessee roads
and I, we
in the
talked
Smokies
a
with
lot.
no lights
As
or
much as we
anything.
could about what happened.
And something ran across
It
the
was like
road.
trading conspiracy
And
theories.
it looked smaller than
We
a
talked
bear,
about the
but
cop,
bigger than a coyote.
you know, the accident, the woods,
The limbs
thing in
were
the
really
basement,
weird,
what
and it
happened
had
to
these
Max. We
big
just kept
glowing eyes.
Going over it all again.
I don't know what it
and
was.
again, and nothing
It
was
ran
making
off the
sense.
road. I didn't hit it. I wish I had like a
All I know
dash
is that
cam
we
so
need
I
to
could
get
have
out
looked
there.
back at the footage. But I actually, obviously, I don't know, it was kind of small to be a werewolf. but I stopped the car to not hit whatever this thing was. And then I kept going, and I get to where I park where I'm supposed to start my hike. And I'm sitting in the car. There's maybe like 3 other cars there, and I'm like, I don't know if I want to get out of the car yet. And I'm looking at the time, and I'm like, how much longer is it till sunrise? Because I really don't, like, I had a headlamp, I had a flashlight, I had all the, like, I was ready to go. And I'm like, damn, I don't know if I want to go in the woods right now because I am spooked the hell out. And then as I was sitting there, some other people pulled up and got out of their car, so I hopped out real fast and just, like, walked behind them. Like, kept pace with them the whole time. They probably thought I was a psychopath. But I kept pace with them until the sun came out, because I'm like, I do not want to be in this area in the dark by myself right now. I am so spooked. And it's spooky, and I don't know if it's just the nature of the woods. It's dark, like, we're not used to it so much. But I also know these stories come back from, like, generations when people were used to being out in the woods and were more in tune with nature and stuff. So, you know, it's
we try to catch him off guard.
Yeah,
and make
it's
our
some
escape.
spooky stuff. A chupacabra? Do they come up this far north?
I'm not gonna be nice to this fucker 1 second
Because
longer.
I thought those were more like down by like Mexico and the southwest.
I don't know. Knock him out.
Not.
I don't know if they come up this far
Or, you know,
north.
that's kind of a movie thing only, right? I mean, you bang someone on the head, you're more likely
I actually wanted to swing by. So there's a
permanent
statue
brain
of the
damage, not
Mothman in West Virginia.
Well,
And I wanted to
what can
go
you do?
past it this time around when we went down to Tennessee, but it was a little too far out of the way.
Right. Prison break it is.
Can we have code names? If we're doing code names, I have dibs on Golden Thunder.
No, seriously, Max, we're doing this.
I hate him so much, Golden Thunder. But a little too far away. Maybe one day I'll get to go to the Mothman statue in West Virginia.
Here's how it's gonna go down.
I used
Next
to
time he
live
opens
on
your
the
cell to take you to
border,
get
never
washed up,
seen one.
You jump him.
I guess you should
tackle
consider
him
yourself
down
lucky.
and
Because
take the
most of
keys
these
from
things,
his belt,
apparently, once they've
drag him into
decided
your
they
cell,
want to
lock
kill
him in
you,
there, unlock my
they
cell,
don't, like,
and
you
then
can't
we'll
get rid of
steal
them.
his
They
car and
either
just
kill
drive
you
right
or
the
you
fuck
kill
out of
them.
Dodge.
Right. Okay.
Go
That's
to
not
the
really a
Mothman
plan, though.
Festival?
You know,
In West
that's just kind of
Virginia, there's a
saying, let's
Mothman
escape, but with
Festival?
a whole lot more words.
No, he won't be expecting it. We're in every team
I know
now. We'll catch him on
he's
the
a
back
big
foot.
deal in, like, West Virginia, North Carolina, that whole kind of area. Oh, I think I'm gonna go next year. That could be exciting. Point Pleasant, West Virginia. It sounds familiar, but I can't think of exactly where that is in West Virginia. It's probably part of the western state, because I know that's where the statue is. The western part of West Virginia.
Ow! 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 Careful! Really? Careful!
Really?
Max is so useless.
Genius.
But what about my shower?
You ain't getting a shower now. Nobody getting a shower.
I said, take your fucking clothes off.
Fuck off!
Get back!
Max, what's going on? Get the fuck away from him!
Come here.
Nope. We're gonna fight.
Get off
Oh
of
wait,
me!
I don't get a chance to fight. This is where I lose my eyeball.
Have a seat. Quit squirming. Said you want to be a vet, right? Call us an internship.
Let me go!
So rude.
You're not gonna believe it?
T-Money,
until
no!
You see it for yourself.
Just fucking ask next time then, dude. Jeez.
Well, you haven't
get too
been
close.
particularly nice to him.
T, come in. What's your position? Over.
Mm-hmm. Just wrapping things up here.
Help! Hey, he's got his held prisoner at the police station! Help us!
Who was that? Over.
Nothing. On my way. Over. That was pretty
That wasn't
stupid.
very. Oh, that was pretty stupid.
Hey, you can't just leave me here!
Yes, I can.
How long are Max's limbs that he can cover? That looks like at least 3 or 4 feet. I don't know. My arms are maybe like... No, I got long. I'm not that tall, so I guess my arms are not that long. I don't know. Maybe he's got extra long werewolf limbs or something. See what I mean about this game? I've been playing for about,
Max,
we've
tell
been
me
in this
exactly what
chapter
you're
7 now.
You alright?
For I guess maybe about half an
I
hour.
don't feel so good.
40
Not
minutes-ish.
good, like how?
I don't know, just...
I have not had to
Yeah,
actually put the controller into 2 hands this entire time.
Come closer, let me see
Because
your eyes.
all
think I
it's
better stay
been
back.
is like
I
movie
need
scene
to
after movie
observe
scene
you.
after movie scene, and I'm just picking responses. Max Werewolf is a better nickname. Max Werewolf is a better nickname than Golden Thunder.
Max? Max?
Max is a loser, don't worry about him. Ooh, look at his pointy teeth. This game reminded me of Quantum Break, where it was basically an interactive movie. I feel like that name is vaguely familiar, but I can't place it. The only time I'd want something to be an interactive movie is like if I was actually in the movie. Like I had a VR device or...
No.
Ooh, the music. Oh, she got close to the cage. Yeah, that's how he got her.
Fuck!
I mean, I didn't think she was that close, though. It's a rather measured response to having your eye clawed out by your werewolf boyfriend. I mean... Oh, this is where she turns into, what's-her-face from the Terminator. Oh, man. Oh, why can't I remember her name?
So much for depth perception.
So much for depth perception. Yeah, that's definitely how someone would react. Completely normal. And she puts herself back in the cage.
Let's
Back
see
in
what
the
that
cell.
bastard cop's hiding.
The TX? The treatment? Ooh. What was the lady's name in Terminator? The first one, obviously. Sarah Connor. That's what her name is, Sarah Connor. Yeah, I mean Sarah Connor, not the Terminator. There's a syringe in here that I think I need. Maybe I don't need it. If I'm gonna shoot him anyway, I don't need the syringe, right? Yeah, she goes from like 0 to Sarah Connor in no time.
Fuck. I'm gonna need to rest soon.
And then goes, oh, there goes my depth perception. Oh ho ho ho. So funny. Sarah Connor is character development over a series done very well. Yeah, she's got very good character development over a good series. At least through Terminator 1 and 2. I don't remember liking Terminator 3. Yeah, I know the candle's almost out. I think it's time to throw that out and get a new one. I think this is where I find the syringe. Multiple syringes. Very unsanitary.
This must be what he used to knock me out.
This is how you get an assortment of diseases. Ooh, which reminds me.
I can hide this in my
I'm supposed to study for my microbiology final. I got time. I can study tonight before I go to sleep. Isn't there something where, like, you're supposed to study for stuff before you go to bed because that's how your brain memorizes it best or something like that? Your brain codes the information better that way? Maybe. That's what I'm going to tell myself. I just have to pass. All I have to do is pass. I mean, obviously, I would like to pass well, and not just pass with, like, a 65. But... let's go hide the little syringe. I wonder what would happen if I didn't hide the syringe.
I need to lie down.
Yep, we're gonna go to bed now. You should study for your microbiology veterinarian thing. If someone who is a werewolf gets stuck, then the same needle is used on a non-werewolf. Would that pass on the werewolf disease? I would assume so, because in this it seems like being a werewolf is kind of like a blood-borne illness.
You want to tell me what happened?
Which is how it's frequently treated, so vampirism and werewolfism are usually treated like blood-borne illnesses. So I imagine that if it's on a needle and someone else uses it...
We've got unfinished business.
Then like they're gonna get the disease too.
Like how you're gonna tell me exactly just what the fuck is really going on here.
Why would I do that?
Because I could be halfway home by now. But I'm not. Because I have to help Max.
Because plot development.
Maybe I can help you too.
Turn around, hands against the wall.
Seriously?
I am too tired to argue.
But... Ugh. Me too. Happy?
Brew some coffee.
May your coffee kick in before reality does. If anybody's interested in something really cool to watch on Netflix, $18.99 is it.
What's this? An education. Watch.
I had a really good time with it. It's 8 episodes. It's not terribly long. Lots of puzzles. Very interesting. If you've watched Dark, you will know exactly what you are getting into. You do not need to have watched Dark to watch this. Although I would highly recommend watching Dark anyway, because it is an amazing show.
Nice job cleaning up. The eye. I mean...
He's drinking on the job.
It's harder than they make out in the textbooks.
Everything is harder than they make out in the textbooks. Especially when you're doing it on yourself. I mean, how badly did that hurt?
Doctor, and no, I'm not, and I probably never will be.
She also probably needs
Stuck in here
antibiotics. Like, he
Yeah.
popped her eye.
Just
There's
'cause
definitely
you know,
bacteria in there
doesn't
that
mean
she
you
needs
know.
antibiotics for.
You know?
What?
I'm not. This isn't what it seems to be.
You're gonna have
Is
to
it
be
though?
more specific.
Would that make her a werewolf though?
You and
I
Max
don't
are in
know
just as
because
much
I
trouble
don't
as
think there
I am.
were any blood or fluid transmission.
My family?
He just
We didn't mean to hurt
scratched
anybody.
her.
We're just trying to survive like everybody else. Do you understand?
Not really.
We're gonna end this thing once and for all.
So you think.
We?
With poor Silas the dog boy, that your brother's stupid kids ruined his
Yeah.
life. Burned the whole circus to the ground.
So, how is your family involved?
But when he transformed, he was covered in blood.
My
True.
is down at the bottom of a well.
What?
Family is the most important thing in the world. But if your whole family, you know, like every last one of them decided to jump down the bottom of a well and they're all just
I wonder how
hanging
the
on the
game
end of the
mechanics of that work.
how can one person be expected to pull them all back out? You can't.
Because I'm pretty sure
You pull on that rope, you're
Laura
just gonna fall right
is
down to the
not a
bottom of the
werewolf
well
until
with the
she
rest of
gets
them.
bitten by Kaylee later
What's the
on.
point of that?
Or right before she
Like,
kills
so
Kaylee.
You're the one at the top of the well with a rope? And...
Yes. I thought that was obvious.
Yeah,
Oh
okay,
my
yeah, I got
gosh.
it.
Forget it.
You are drunk, and your metaphors are not that good.
Let's see how smart you really are.
Oh boy. Is it a puzzle? Is it the New York Times crossword puzzle?
What is this?
Is it werewolf based?
Information.
Why did Max get a tablet and I get a
what
piece
does
of
it mean?
newspaper?
Read it.
When full the moon above shines first, the beast internal shall outward burst. One by one.
The rhyme
leads
schemes in this are pretty
lambs to
good.
Slaughter. It stalks your breath, but shuns clear water. And should you yourself be cursed, armed with silver and the first, when moon is full before its wane, rend the beast that cursed you slain. No longer shall you face your blight, or fear the dread of full moon's light.
Yeah. Keep reading.
Take the gun. We are gonna shoot you. Should have pretended to keep reading while you were doing this.
This was a mistake.
Wait.
I wanted to trust you. Give it here.
Is that really me?
Give it here.
Oh boy.
Shit!
I didn't get to shoot him this
You try
time.
to take his gun?
No! Maybe a little? But it was just
Maybe
sitting
a
there in the
little.
dry.
Laura,
Max, what did you expect me to do?
he was finally opening up to you. What did he show you?
Just some shit old poem.
Sounds legit.
Max looks like a teenage-sized Chucky doll. He does.
I believe him.
You can't tell me you really trust that guy now.
I didn't say that. I said I believe him, what the poem said.
He's a dirty, lying, kidnapping cop, Laura. We should be careful of anything that fucker says.
You believe... did we not just see him turn into a werewolf?
It isn't much to go on at all, but my understanding is that you have to kill the one above to get better.
One above, what does that mean?
So, someone bit you, and you won't get better until that someone is dead.
Right?
But it has to be done on a full moon.
Well, yes, because
According
that
to
seems
some
to be
old
the
poem.
only time when you guys turn, so you gotta kill
So
the
how?
actual werewolf.
I don't know. But it means that whoever bit you down in that basement must still be alive. Otherwise...
Laura, listen to us. I mean, what are we really talking about here? We're talking about killing somebody?
Yes. Otherwise,
I don't know.
you're a werewolf forever,
No.
Max.
Maybe. Although, by the sounds of it, hypothetically speaking, we're not killing anything human at all.
So Max isn't a
Yeah.
human? Is that what you're trying to say, Laura? That's not nice at all. Although we don't like Max, so who cares?
Let me in there. Chris, I know they're in there. Oh, the counselor didn't show up.
Uh-oh.
Let's find out. Bobby told me.
Said you scrapped an abandoned car a while back.
Doofy.
I worked out the rest.
Shit.
Yeah, T-Money, you in trouble now.
Why'd you think, Chris?
Jesus, Travis. You're still here? That's fucked up.
Fucking bit one of them, Chris. What's I supposed to do?
What was that?
Oh, wait. It was nothing. Don't worry about it. They're sleeping.
You shot me.
I'm telling Mom.
Think you're lucky Stars wasn't silver?
What's your plan? Can't keep him here forever.
Yeah, I mean, you're fine. You're a werewolf. You have super
Maybe if you'd done
healing
your job,
powers.
they
Calm
would've
down,
been at the
Chris.
camp that night. You ever think of that?
If I'd have done my job, you'd all be in prison. You ever think of that?
That was all Bobby and Caleb, and
Or
you
those
know it.
hikers? That fucking journalist?
Damn it, Travis. What are we gonna do now?
Whatever happened to we're all in this together?
We are not all in this together.
Shh, man. Let's go to my office. We shouldn't talk here.
Max!
Uh,
Max!
What is
Max,
it?
you useless slug.
Travis was just in the hall talking, the cop.
So?
With Chris Hackett.
Was he here to let us out?
No. He's the werewolf, Max. Chris Hackett is the one that bit you down on the storm shelter.
Holy shit, that's... Who would have guessed?
I mean, I guess
Surprise!
thinking about it, I could have.
And yet you didn't.
It all makes
So is
sense.
all of this because
That's
their
why
little
Chris's
big
car
brothers
was at the
bullied a
lodge that
circus
night.
boy?
Travis was
Pretty
protecting him.
much.
That's why he
Not all-
followed us, and that's why he didn't
Well, you
kill the
find
werewolf
out-
in the storm shelter because it was his fucking brother. God,
I
it's
forget
so
at what point you
obvious.
find it out,
If
but
Chris was the one that bit me,
basically, Kaylee and
Yeah, then
the
that's our
other
kid.
Hackett child, the siblings,
That's how we
Chris's
fix him.
kids,
Jesus, Laura, are we thinking the same thing?
went to the circus to like release
Tomorrow we're
Silas
getting
the
out of here.
dog boy because they thought he was
I'm gonna
being
get Travis's
tormented
gun
and it was such a
kill
bad
Chris
life for
Hackett.
him, but they didn't realize that he was a werewolf, and when they tried to release him they set fire to the circus.
Hey! Hey! Help
um
her! Laura needs help!
Silas got out and he attacked Kaylee, and then Kaylee attacked Chris, and that's why they're all werewolves.
Laura, you okay?
And yeah,
God damn it.
that's how that all worked out. All because some do-gooding kids had to mess everything up.
What the hell's going on?
Sometimes it's best to leave the people in the circus alone because they actually want to be there.
Fuck.
Guess they couldn't hack it, yeah. Should I not have done that? Okay, good. Take the gun. Am I gonna shoot him now? Oh, son of a gun.
Starting to think you were really sick.
Well, maybe I should consider acting as my major.
I wouldn't go that far.
I think maybe I shouldn't have stabbed him with the
We
hypodermic.
should
I'm so mad
go
now.
before he wakes
Yeah.
up.
Well, we'll see how it goes. How does T-Money?
We should grab our
How
stuff.
is T-Money?
We need silver ammo.
I think
You
he's
must have some
fine.
around here.
How does T-Money die? Him
What
and
is it?
Laura are supposed to attack each
I thought I
other.
heard someone. No, I still can.
It's coming from behind that door. There's nobody in here. What the fuck?
He makes them.
What is it?
Shotgun shells. He loads them with silver. That's where he was last month, hunting. Well, I guess I won't be needing this anymore.
Hey, I just realized something. We're free.
Hell yeah, we are. That's 2 months we'll never get back, but for now, we're one step closer to going home.
And when is that?
I think I messed up. I think I needed to
Going
not
to
stab
Hackett's
him with
Quarry,
the syringe.
We're killing Chris Hackett.
Oh well, we're gonna power through anyway, because I'm not restarting again. Google says Laura is supposed to shoot Travis in the chapter, but also when Laura is a werewolf, she attacks him and he stabs her. Yeah, I know. I'm a little unclear now, because it seems like...
Left Max at the island. Seemed like Max at the
I don't know.
island.
Why is it
Seemed like
so
the best
hard to
place for
kill
him,
all of
surrounded
the
by water.
characters?
That's it. That's the story. And I'll jump in at the same time.
Let's see. I mean, I'm finishing up at the end of this chapter
After you
anyway,
saw
which
me at
I
the
don't think is
pool
too much
after
longer.
I
But let's
shot
see. If
Chris,
no, not if
I went back to the island
if
expecting
Laura
Max to be back to
doesn't
normal.
shoot Travis, will they still attack each other? What is this? What am I doing here? How to make Laura and Travis kill each other, mutually assured. Seems like maybe in chapter 9 I can fix it.
Max?
Hello?
Ugh. I needed to shoot Travis in Chapter 7. Probably pause this so although I guess she's not gonna die here, so it doesn't really matter. I think I messed up, guys. Ugh. Yeah, the music though.
I killed can't have been Chris.
That wasn't
music
a
is
werewolf.
terrible.
It was Haley Hackett, Chris's daughter.
Whatever I...
Haley Hackett, Chris's daughter.
Whatever I shot, that was no girl. Unless, I guess, it turned back after I shot it, when I went to the island.
Wait, so... how come Max didn't kill you then?
He tried. I got away. I need to end this. We don't have much time.
Ugh. I messed up. I needed to not use the syringe. Oh my god, I can't believe this! Oh, yo.
Smell good, don't
Why is there only one way for her to die?
Go on.
And I can't even reset this. I cannot even reset this. Ugh. Son of a gun. The game automatically saves. It doesn't allow me, it auto saves. It doesn't allow me to save and like not. He can die in chapter 9. Yeah, he can die in chapter 9, but Laura won't die in chapter 9. Yeah, sure. Yeah. This last saved at 5:55. Oh, son of a gun! I needed to not stab him with the syringe. The syringe was what messed me up. She will if Travis is angry with her. It says in the thing that if I don't shoot him, then he won't be angry enough with me. I guess we'll finish through chapter 7 and then we'll be done for the night. And then I'll just finish out 8, 9, and 10 and we'll see where that gets me. I'm pretty sure he hated me when we left, but I also didn't shoot him.
Oh, looky.
This lady is crazy.
So this is our new guest.
Yeah, you so excited to have another werewolf
Smell
child,
good,
you
don't
freak.
Go on. Take a bite. Come on. dumb fucking animal.
She's so mean. Oh. All I had to do was wait 2 seconds and then we would have been done with chapter 7.
Always nice to see you.
No, it's not nice to see you, lady. I wish this game would just let me save the way that I want to save because mistakes happen. But anyway, that is it for tonight. We are at the 2-hour mark and I am hungry and I am mad that I think I messed it up again. Ugh. If she burns her cookies on purpose so you can't enjoy them. Yeah, she probably does burn the cookies on purpose so you can't enjoy them.
You follow the right path, of course.
Watch, and when I try to play this through to get everybody saved, that's when everybody's gonna die. Ugh. Alright, Chapter 8, Belly of the Beast. We are done for tonight, though. Thank you guys for hanging out and participating in the fun facts, serial killer stuff, and whatnot. I will see you guys all next time. I'm going to try and remember to upload this stuff to YouTube. And that is it. Good night, everybody.